We actually have a very interesting guest joining us, an entrepreneur, someone who has, through her company, created a portable generator powered by water, fits right into your backpack. We'll learn more about her story and her company. Joining us here for Touch Base in Seoul, the CEO of Enomad, Hyerin. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here today. This is Hyerin Park, founder and CEO of Enomad.
Well, you know what? Before we get into the actual company and your product and all of that stuff, can you give us just your own background and how you came about to launch this exciting company?
I was just a typical Korean girl that studied economics and I don't know. I would say just I was a typical normal girl.
Okay.
But after my 9-month-long backpacking around India, that kind of changed my life to think about the problem differently.
Right.
And then I started to think about energy accessibility. And then it led me to starting my new company.
It wasn't like you were an engineer and studying about these problems or a nuclear physicist or anything like that. And you say you were just a typical Korean girl. Maybe that means the path that a lot of Korean parents like is to go to the good college and then get a job at the chaebol or the big company and live that comfortable life. You decided to come out and some would say take a risk, right? Start your own company. Enomad, is that the right pronunciation for the company? Talk about this product and how you came about to having your company produce this.
So when I was 21, back then I studied really hard on economics and global trade. And then I heard that BRICS countries are rising.
Right.
And then I was like, maybe this summer, maybe I should get some break to travel India to experience what is really going on here as emerging countries. And then, I don't know, I just went there for traveling.
Yeah.
But I experienced a lot of unexpected experiences, such as, I don't know, like robberies or lots of things. But the most significant activity was blackout. And back then, that was my first time to experience that stable electricity is not, I don't know, gifted to everyone.
Right.
I mean, I'm living in Korea, I have access to electricity everywhere.
Right.
But in India, it was really, really hard to get stable electricity. It was really frustrating. But I saw many population live in remote area has no access to electricity. Using smartphone, using camera was impossible for them. So after that, I realized that still there are 30% of global population has no access to electricity. So I would think that... When
you talk about a portable hydropower generator, almost like something that you can carry around right on your backpack, it sounds like something like Elon Musk would create out of thin air. I'm not sure what the process was, whether you were in the garage and you were working on this. How did this product come about?
Back then, my initial idea was kind of very simple. Why don't I produce my own power? We had a solar power, wind power. Then how about water? And, water is the most effective natural energy resource that we can get because density is maybe 1,000 times higher than compared to wind and more stable and expectable. So I was thinking that if there is any generator can harness energy from running water, then people living in mountain areas or remote areas has access to river, then they can get their own power. So why not? Then I started my Enomad company.
This product, is it largely focused on the emerging markets, or are there also applications, in your view, to more advanced countries like Korea?
When I started my company, Enomad, that stands for Energy Nomad, by the way, we were focused on developing countries like India, of course.
Right.
But we realized that as a startup company, we need to be more prepared to get into the new market. So we had to find some the stepping stone to get into the real market.
Right.
And then we found the camping and outdoor market who expose themselves in off-grid area for like a week or a month.
Right.
They still need a power for them to charge gadgets. So we started to launch our first product, which is the portable water power generator, Enomad Uno, to U.S. camping outdoor market last September.
Wow. So it's sort of like these test bed markets where you could say a more privileged group of people, but they have a use for it. And then once that kind of is tested to be viable and successful and desirable, then you can really scale up and move into these other emerging markets as well. I hear in Korea as well, you signed, or there was an agreement with the city of Seoul to set up a charging station in the Cheonggyecheon area as well. So here in the Korean market as well, I suppose the expansion plans are well underway?
Maybe or maybe not.
Okay.
Because there are some population consider renewable energy as a next energy source, but still we have a very well-developed energy infrastructure.
Right.
So
it's not necessarily the most prime market. But I think a lot of people are interested here in Korea when we hear about a company like Enomad because, as you know very well, everyone's worried about electricity costs, people talking about everyone having to blast their air conditioners at home because of this intense heat wave. There's a Blue House petition saying that you got to get rid of that tiered pricing thing, especially for households, not just for the businesses. And so I guess there is that greater awareness, at least in Korea, that there should be more creative ways to think outside the box and talk about how we should supplement our energy supplies, right?
Yeah. But still, we are already get used to of our lifestyle.
Right.
But the good thing we found recently is students are crazy about our product. We really love to see our next generations are into our product and they're learning how to produce their energy and start to think about where their energy consuming are coming from.
Right.
So focusing on Korean market, we are more focusing on education or hands-on the testing market instead of camping outdoor market.
I understand another major project you have coming up this week, the Carbon Zero Festival. Can you tell us about that and what your plans are?
Yes, actually this coming Friday, we are planning to have a little festival that harness energy from Han River and then watching movie and, having a little forums and discussions in Han River Park, nothing but from solar power and hot water power. And because we learned that there are some people eager to experience renewable energy, but mainly forced by government.
Right.
Like, it's your response to use renewable energy.
Right,
but
right.
we thought that it has to be combined with a culture. So we wanted to have a festival that people can enjoy, meet people, get inspired by others. But every energy resource are coming from Han River. That would be really great, experience for them to start to think about renewable energy. It's not something...
I think that's a great point because it's such a it's a smaller scale, even when you're talking about the river and then even your own specific product with the backpack, how you can actually touch and feel it where everyone talks about wind power and these huge windmills in the wilderness where, there's or even hydropower with huge dams or even these huge solar panels. It's not necessarily something that's relatable to the individual, but if you can touch and see and even go to a place like the river and actually see how that energy is being produced, obviously a great awareness campaign, as you point out. Nevertheless, the realities are you are the CEO of a startup in Korea, this so-called venture culture. We know that there's a very intense imbalance of market fairness with the chaebols dominating and smaller companies having a real struggle to survive. I know there's been more of a push by the government in recent years to try to create a better environment for startups. You are into your 5th year, I believe, right, as CEO. How do you envision this company kind of going through that growth stage and really kind of solidifying and being a big presence?
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe that the importance of startup is innovating new market. We are not trying to competing with a Capco or big size energy company, but we try to create a new energy consumption trends or new culture, new market, which is consuming energy in off-grid areas, place where has no energy access, but still people need to use. So now we are getting started from camping outdoor market, but now we try to build up a power station in River Park. And then next year, we try to bring a portable scale hydropower station in developing countries, finally in India. I mean, it's getting slow, but we are taking step by step to bringing new systems and designs and product to the new market.
You know, it's a lot of people talk about startups. They think of usually tech, usually something to deal with the web or the mobile space. And, you know, you can have an app that helps you deliver pizza or, you know, help you find a taxi or help you connect with friends and send your girlfriend messages. And those are fine. I don't know how much greater good they do for society, but we're talking about a product here that actually can, in some cases, even if you go very, I guess, to the most needy places of the world, save lives. And so it's a startup, it's a disruptive force, but it's also something for the social good. Just like, I know I keep comparing you to Elon Musk, and I know that's sort of, some people like that, some people don't like that, but, you know, he started off with companies like PayPal and then built up things like RocketX and Tesla. Do you think with Enomad, this is sort of your baby for now, or do you have also bigger dreams or visions to expand aside from this company?
Of course, we do have a much larger dreams or vision, and this baby product is just the first stepping stone for us to get to the next step. This product will be the initial module for scale-up station, and we are going to find every river in the world, and we'll connect people through the river and energy stream. So even the boy that I met in India can use their smartphone and can connect you with the other, or I don't know, maybe professor in MIT, and he can get a great education from him. And because we use more electricity, and it impacts on our educations and life and economics a lot. So even this small power, we believe that can impact on lots of other daily lives.
It's an inspiring message, an inspiring product. For people who want to look you up or get in touch with the company, what's the best way? Your website?
Yes, energynomad.com. You can easily find me on our website.
Well, Park Hyerin, the CEO of Energy Nomad, Enomad, thank you very much for joining us, and obviously best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you.